All right, everyone, welcome to a very special edition of the Ohio Bobcats Coaches Show at Jeff Boals, March Madness edition. Coach, just take me through what this past week has been like in winning the MAC tournament to get to this moment.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Such an awesome experience for our guys and our university. I know there's a lot of alumni out there that are very proud, and to be able to go up to Cleveland and win those three games and cut down the nets, that's why you play the game. March Madness, here we are.
I know you said that this was the goal when you walked in the door, came back to Athens, and did you think it would happen this soon, though? I mean, it was a combination of guys that you recruited, but also guys that you inherited. Did you think that in year two, this would be the result?
I thought we had the talent to do it. Obviously we're still a pretty young team, and majority of the time in leagues like this, seniors and juniors win leagues.
Right.
And if you look at Kent State, you look at Akron, Toledo, BG, Buffalo, very junior, senior dominated teams. And I think we were playing really well, playing with a lot of confidence. And I think our guys did a phenomenal job. 3 games in 3 days.
Just take me through how that went about, because you went from having 4 games in 36 days to having 3 games in a row, and not just winning those games, but dominating those games. There was 120 minutes of action. You won for 117 minutes of those. I don't think people quite comprehend how hard that is to do, given the circumstances in which you entered the tournament.
Yeah, it was definitely different. We went on a 21-day pause, then played 3 games in 5 days. Then we had another positive test, had 2 games canceled. So we had played 3 games in 35 days. The first game against Kent State was our fourth one in 36 days. And one of our kids, our starting two guard, came out of a contact trace quarantine and had not practiced in 10 days. And, our guys went out and dominated Kent State, and that set the tone for the tournament.
Just take me through the reaction from the players, because this is every kid's dream, it's every coach's dream, is to get to March Madness and have this opportunity to play for a national championship. What was that moment like with the team, both on the court but also in the locker room after the game?
Yeah, it was, elation. And as I was talking to, Coach Mata the other day, and, been there as a player, was there as assistant coach, and now as a head coach. And when you're a head coach, I wanted these guys to experience what I went through as a player.
Right.
And there's no better feeling to see your name pop up on that screen on Selection Sunday, and just the euphoria of final buzzer, guys going crazy, dancing and cutting down the nets. And I tell everyone that the one negative about this whole deal, they couldn't celebrate with their families. We had to go right back to the hotel. We couldn't go back to campus and see the student body and let them celebrate with our team. We came right to Indianapolis, but there'll be a time and a place, for that in the future. But just, awesome, seeing our guys. We came over here. We were supposed to take our first COVID test and then quarantine, go to our rooms. And we asked them if we could watch the selection show together and then take our test. And they said yes. So we were able to do that. And, that's a memory of a lifetime for those guys, seeing their name pop up.
Before I get to what this week has been like and the preparation for the game you have coming up against Virginia, I just want to go back to what you said was winning the MAC title both as a player and as a coach. How do those two compare, and what feelings do you have being a player that won it in '94 and now a coach that won it at the same school you went to?
Yeah, I mean, any championship, is just, yeah, that's the pinnacle. That's what you play for.
Right.
And it's hard. Winning's hard. And I think to have our guys experience, this moment and playing in the big dance, playing for March, this is what every kid dreams about growing up. The opportunity to, compete against the best in the country, and here we are.
Here you are. Just take me through what this week has been. You said testing, guys can't go anywhere. It's basically the bubble edition of college basketball. You guys are playing in Bloomington. So what has this past couple of days been like today? How do you prepare for this game when it's not normal at all?
Yeah, it's been different. We came over and, we did our 2 COVID tests within a 12-hour span. Every kid has their own room. Every team has their own floor in the hotel. And I think there's 15 or 16 teams in our hotel. And they've done a great job, the NCAA, kind of keeping everyone apart. Every morning we do a COVID test, and then, they have practice times over in the convention center. They have courts set up in the convention center for everyone to practice. They have makeshift weight rooms over there, to lift. And really all our guys can do, they can go to the meeting room to grab their meals. They can go to the practice court. They can go to the weight room with as a group, and then back to their hotel room. So, there's no walking around. You can't go outside. So, it's pretty locked down.
Take me through this matchup you have with Virginia. These are two teams that are kind of polar opposites in a way. Ohio is 17th in the country in scoring. Virginia is 6th in the country in not letting people score. They, have 60 points per game that they let opponents get, and you guys average 80 points a game. How do you game plan for a team that is that much different on defense than what you're used to?
Yeah, I mean their defense is elite. Tony Bennett's one of the best coaches in the country, one of the best people in the country, and I guess they're the defending national champions. Since there was no tournament last year,
Right.
and I think when you play them, you have to try to create some type of tempo, and that's hard to do. Everyone tries to do it going in playing them, but the system that he runs, is very methodical, very calculated, very efficient, and we have to try to create some offense somehow, some way. And then on our defensive end, they're very patient offensively. They're the slowest tempo team in the country,
Right.
and it's almost like there's a 30-second shot clock, but really I told our guys it's got to be a 12-second shot clock.
Hmm.
When that hits 12 seconds, you got to focus even more. Your antennas got to go up. Your communications got to go up, because that last 12 seconds they're gonna be trying to score.
You spoke about efficiency. Let's talk about Dwight Wilson. This guy is second in the country in field goal percentage. Luckily, you have a guy in Jason Preston who's top 10 in assists. How important is it to get the ball in both of their hands, but also down low to him where he's most effective? That way you can get as many points as possible against a hard Virginia defensive team.
Yeah, he's been a huge key for us all year long. He and Bennett Vanderplas, down low, posting up. They play well together. Two post options for us. But DJ's got an unbelievable touch, to have shoot 70% from the field, just mind blowing.
Hmm.
And, if you look at the run that we had, he didn't play against Akron. He had a knee injury that he suffered in the practice on Sunday before that. And then we played him against Eastern Michigan, and he still wasn't, 100% against Eastern and Buffalo. And then, he got better. And then we had that pause, which probably helped him, just from a, health standpoint, and he had a great tournament for us.
I'd be remiss not to mention the tournament that Jason Preston has had as well, MVP of that game against Buffalo, the whole MAC tournament. What does that say about him that despite the way that this season went, injuries and had a little bit of rest because of quarantining and all of that, that even despite that, he came back in the MAC tournament and played his best basketball when it mattered the most?
Yeah, if you look at JP's year, he played that MAC tournament like he did in the
Right.
preseason practice, in the first start of the year. And he went through that lull where he had his injury, missed 4 games, obviously didn't practice for a couple weeks. Then he came back and played. Then we had a 21-day pause.
Mm-hmm.
So he's back to being Jason Preston, and there's no better time of the year to have that for us.
Coach, as you look at the NCAA tournament, how important is it? Obviously, you take it one game at a time based on who you're playing, but knowing that if you do win this Virginia game, you have a hard opponent either way in UC Santa Barbara or in Creighton, whoever wins that game, and trying to get ready for another game and another game as the weeks go on, as you hope that they go on.
Yeah, if you look at the setup, there's a day in between, and we've had 2 situations where we played back to back to back. The Illinois tournament to start the year, and then the MAC tournament to end the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we had those 3 games in 5 days where we went Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we've been through the quick turnaround, scout wise, but our sole focus is on the 40 minutes with Virginia. Our guys are excited to play. They're loose, they're confident, and should be a good game.
Well, Coach, I know Bobcat Nation is excited to see you guys play in March Madness for the first time since 2013. Is there anything else that you want to add about how this season has gone to get to this moment, and anybody that you want to thank as part of this special team that's one of the first in, 9 years to come back to March Madness?
Yeah, just really proud of our guys for the way they've handled this whole season. And most people don't realize how difficult, it's been, the self-discipline, the sacrifice, staying away from families, not doing certain things that they've been through. And I think that speaks to the character of the guys we have in our program and how they were raised. And, the leadership we've had, Dr. Nellis, Julie Cromer, our trainer, Tyler Congrove, our strength coach, Jared Azar, our managers for their sacrifice, everything that these people have helped us do, put us in position, has been awesome. And, before I left for the MAC tournament, My wife is like, "Hey, look, there's a lot of pressure on you right now because my daughter won a state swim championship with her New Albany high school team. My son is a freshman on the freshman team in New Albany. They won their tournament in Newark, and she said, "You can't be the only one." So I felt a lot of pressure leaving that household, and thankfully we were able to get it done.
Well, I know that Bobcat Nation is very excited to see you guys play this Saturday against Virginia, and very proud of what you guys have done this season. You guys have been a blast to watch all year long, and Coach, we wish you the best of luck in the NCAA tournament.
All right, thank you, Justin.
All right, Coach, take care.